My fiancé's estranged family reached out and asked me to help them fix their relationship with him. Me, 28F, and my fiancé, 34M, have been together for 4 years now. He was in a previous marriage before we met that ended in divorce because his ex-wife had a long-term affair. During their marriage, my fiancé was diagnosed with cancer and went through a very tough battle. During that time, his family found out that his wife was cheating on him through a third party, but they didn't tell him because he was very sick. They basically hid the truth from him and let his ex-wife be around him. My fiancé thankfully won his battle, and towards the middle of his recovery, his ex-wife came clean because she felt guilty. She told him that she wanted to come clean before, but his family convinced her to keep quiet for his sake. My fiancé felt betrayed by both his wife and family. When he got better, he divorced and eventually moved away from the city his ex-wife and his family lived in. He very rarely speaks to his family, maybe 2-3 times a year, and they tend to be very short and superficial conversations. His relationship with his family is very strained and practically non-existent. I've never met any of his family members for the entire time we've been together. They haven't come to visit and he hasn't gone to visit them. Today, I revived a message on Facebook from what seems to be his older sister. I have no idea how she found me, but she seems to know about my fiancé and I being engaged. Long message short, she asked if I could help reunite my fiancé and his family. She talked about them maybe flying to our city and asked if I could somehow get my fiancé to meet them. I haven't responded to her, I don't know if I should. She explained why they didn't tell him about his cheating wife. According to her, they didn't want to bring any more suffering and pain, which I somehow get. I'm not saying that I agree with what they did or would do something like that. I also very much get and respect how my fiancé feels. Even before the whole cheating thing, my fiancé said he's had other problems with his family in the past. It seems he's always had a difficult relationship with his family. Basically, I wanted to ask, what do you guys think I need to do? Do I try to help them or do I just ignore his sister's message? I think that sometimes in life we might need others to encourage us into doing something we don't want to because it could ultimately benefit us further down the road. But at the same time we shouldn't force people into doing just anything. Edit. I am going to tell him about the message regardless. He's coming home later this evening and that's when I'll tell him. I just wanted to beforehand get advice on whether I should encourage him to reconsider the situation if he initially says he doesn't want to do it, or should I not say anything if he says no and drop it forever? You talk to your fiancé first and let him decide what he wants to do with his family situation. Edit. Responding to your edit, I would not try to encourage him to reconnect. His family is still going behind his back to manipulate him, this time they're using you. Per edit. Just show him the messages and let him tell you how he wants to handle it. More things went on than what happened with the ex and you don't know what they are. He lived it, he decides, and it's his family. Follow his lead and love him. Let him decide how to handle it. I haven't spoken to my mother in over 20 years and I would be livid if my husband tried to convince me to reconsider that, and doubly so if I found out that the reason was because she wanted him to. My 27F husband, 33M, has been secretly telling people to compliment me and it feels weird. I apologize in advance, I don't know how to keep this short. For the last 4 years, I have been in a relationship with the most kind, thoughtful and romantic man I ever met. We haven't had a fight, like ever. My significant other is just completely perfect for me. At least that's what I thought until about 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, it was during our wedding day that I had my first doubts. During dinner at our wedding venue, his best man gave a speech, and went on and on about how much my husband loves me. He said something along the lines of, "It's not enough to compliment her every day. He even tells us to do so, as I'm sure a lot of you know." And he took out his phone and wiggled it around. There was general laughter from my friends and family. I turned to my husband because I didn't get the joke and was completely taken aback by the look on his face. Just for a split second, he was seething. I have never seen him like that before, but there was so much hate in his eyes. A second later, he was his smiling self again, but somehow his smile didn't seem genuine for the rest of the speech. I asked him what's wrong. He told me that the best man was too drunk. I let it go. I wanted to enjoy my wedding. I told myself that maybe I had imagined the look, or my husband was suppressing a sneeze or something, but I just could not forget about it. When I thanked the best man for his speech, I asked him what the joke with the phone was all about. He brushed me off and told me it's just that my husband talks about me a lot. I then asked two people who had laughed at the joke, my sister and my best friend. At first they told me it was a secret, but they were very drunk, so finally they let me in on it. Apparently, my husband has been texting my friends and various family members every time I would meet them in advance about something they might want to compliment about me. So for example, if I would meet up with my sister, my husband would write to her half an hour before our meeting about a new piece of clothing I would wear or a new hairstyle or something. I was completely weirded out, but both my bestie and my sister told me how cute it was and how much he loved me. I did not want to confront my husband on our wedding day with everyone present, and we immediately left for our honeymoon and I didn't bring it up there either. I kept thinking that maybe I was overreacting and it was really a sweet thing to do. Last Friday, I went back to work and complained to my coworker about the whole thing. I basically just wanted to hear from someone that this behavior was at least a little weird before bringing it up with my husband. My coworker immediately blushed and then told me that she, too, has been getting texts from my husband. Now to be clear, they have never even met. I don't even know how he got her number, he must have gotten it from my phone? She let me look at his messages and I was just so uncomfortable reading them. He started texting her 3.5 years ago, when we had just started dating. There were dozens of messages, e.g., "Hey, just to let you know, Op got a new haircut," or, "Did you know it's Op's birthday in a week? Could you let people from the office know?" And, "Op is wearing her favorite color today." Some messages were way too personal. "OP's aunt just died. Maybe everyone at the office can be extra nice to her today." And others were even a little flirty. "Hello beautiful, it's a good day to tell someone they're beautiful, so pass it on to Op." It was weird all around. I scrolled to the very first message. "Hello. This is OP's long-term boyfriend. I thought I'd let you know that she had a health scare recently and I'm sure would appreciate a compliment here or there to brighten up her day. But let this be our little secret, okay? Winky emoji." My coworker sometimes reacted with smileys or a "done," but after the "hello beautiful" message she did not respond to him at all and he kept texting for weeks and weeks. I was so embarrassed. I apologized to my coworker but she insisted it's cute and I shouldn't worry about it. But I feel like it's uncomfortable for her, especially because she apparently didn't answer him. Did I mention that same coworker will soon be my subordinate because of a job opening? It's so unprofessional for him to do that. I've had some time to think this weekend, because my husband is out of town, and the longer I think about it, the weirder it seems to me. I'm wondering what his goal is or if that is a normal thing people do. I've also been thinking back on various situations and I've come to the conclusion that I get an unnatural amount of compliments from people and now it feels so fake. I opened an Etsy store because people kept complimenting my self-made jewelry. I feel so stupid about that now. Also, a lot of what he wrote to my coworker doesn't really make sense. I thought a lot about it, but can't remember a health scare at all, and I also don't really have a favorite color to wear. And there is no way I go to the hairdresser that much. Reading his texts, you'd think I'd be there every month. I feel like I'm getting paranoid just thinking about the whole situation. I'm wondering who else he has been writing to. I also get a lot of compliments from waitresses, but that must be a coincidence, right? The answer is of course to talk to him about it, but I don't really know how to go about this. As I mentioned, we never had a fight, and that seething look on his face is still fresh on my mind and it scares me a bit. What do I say? Or should I just let it go? I can't really say what it is exactly that annoys me, just that it is such a weird thing to do. Too long did not read. Because of the best man speech at our wedding and some detective work, I found out that my husband has been texting various friends, family members and coworkers to remind them what to compliment about me. It feels weird, but most people just think it's cute. It's definitely weird. But adding on to that the fact that he's involving himself not only in your personal relationships but also your professional ones is icky to me. Not to mention you don't know how he got your coworker's phone number. This turned from being mildly weird to straight-up serial killer vibes. Telling your family to compliment you is one thing, but your coworker? Then he made up lies about you too, along with sharing way too much personal info? If you choose to confront your husband, I recommend having a friend or a family member nearby in case things get out of hand. I get some really bad vibes from this. Stay safe. I started off thinking this was sweet, but as I read further I am quite concerned. This is not normal behavior and I'm worried it's a symptom of some not great personality traits in your husband. I'd investigate slowly and carefully. Left a party in my ex's car that I had a key to and never came back. This was tonight. My name is on the car. He can't legally do anything. It's dumb. I'm not exactly sure why I did it. He lied and cheated and gave me an STD. You'd think that'd be enough. But he got the girl pregnant, they had an abortion, and then she moved in. He's taking her to the cities we were supposed to go to in the car he could only get because I co-signed for him. He pulled up bragging about his cool car to the people at the party while also bringing her in it. He's paid late and messed up my credit, but he was doing better. I thought I was over most of my rage, but seeing her all over him tonight when I went to say bye. I just left. In his car. He told me I have no honor, after he slept with 7 different women over the course of our relationship. Just last night he told me he made the right move and we weren't right for each other. But then today he said I hurt him so badly by taking the car because I still held a piece of him and he thought we reconnected last night and was so happy all day thinking about me even though he said we'd never get back together and he went on home to his girlfriend. He said he trusted me. Now he wants it back then doesn't want it back and blocked my number but unblocked my number. He doesn't care. He's sad. He hates me. He wants the best for me. It's all over. I just don't know how to feel right now. I'm not in any legal trouble. I have a few potential buyers for the car. But I could give it back. But he said he doesn't want it then does. I almost feel like I'm crazier if I give it back. I boxed everything up and dropped it off at his house so I'm not doing anything illegal by keeping the stuff in the car. He gave me a kitten yesterday and left 2 others over here. He says he wants them back but then doesn't. He's just so mad that he won't give anything a straight answer. Edit. He told me no one in the world would ever agree with my decision on this and that I'm a shit person and an asshole. Thanks for the comments of support. I know it wasn't my shiniest moment in life. Sell the car and don't look back. Keep the kittens and if you don't want them, see if you can find them a good home. As for him, to hell with him. Taking his car was utterly trivial compared to what he did to you. Oh, and spend the money on yourself doing something you want. You deserve it. Ha. Nice. You haven't done anything legally wrong. Block him, sell the car and get you something nice for all the trouble. What the hell? You don't co-sign loans for boyfriends. Just like you don't do joint account for boyfriends. He never respected you. He just needed to use you. Sell the car and fix your credit. Break your ties to him. Love yourself first. Block his number already. Girlfriend got really nervous when I asked to see her phone. Me, 26M, and my girlfriend, 24F, have always been very open with our phones. She has full access to my phone, and I have full access to hers. Anyways 99% of the time we never even bother to look at each other's or ask for them. Yesterday we were hanging out in the living room with a couple of friends and her phone was on the coffee table. I just asked her, "Hey, can I see your phone?" I literally just wanted to see the phone itself because she has a new iPhone and I use Android. She gave me this deer in the headlights look that I've never seen before. Like she was afraid. She tried to say no by saying, "No, you let me see your phone." I said, "Why are you so nervous?" Then she handed me the phone. I opened it and started messing around with it, not even trying to find anything or look through any messages. I just wanted to see what she would do. She was so tense and started looking at the phone screen to see what I was doing. I asked again, "What's wrong, why you so nervous?" She didn't reply. Then I just gave it back to her because I didn't want to start something in front of our friends. She has also been acting very distant recently, takes longer than usual to reply, and doesn't invite me over as often. What are your thoughts? Big red flag or what? I've gotten nervous about any boyfriend using my phone because of my Google searches. They're not bad. But something like, "Why am I so depressed?" still being on there is something I don't want him to see. That being said, my ex-boyfriend berated me in front of friends once when I spent too long looking for a song on Spotify to play because we were using his phone for music. Turns out, he was definitely a manipulative cheater. God. I would hate this. Like, please don't pull my Reddit up because it's my journal. Maybe it was just the idea of your friends being there, watching you browse her phone. That would bother me, whether or not we have an open phone policy or I have nothing to hide.